A woman does not lose her beauty after a certain age. She simply stops looking for it in the wrong places. Because as the years pass, you realize the face in the mirror changes, but the meaning in your gaze deepens. When you are young, you dress to be admired, you smile to be loved, you speak to be understood. But time passes, and the flavor of everything changes. Now you no longer want to be loved, you want to be at peace. And at that point you realize attractiveness is not about the body, but about the maturity of the mind. If a woman can carry her past without being crushed by it, she is still attractive, because beauty is fleeting, but poise remains. As she ages, a woman either becomes invisible or unforgettable. The difference lies in how she carries herself. Some see time as an enemy, others befriend it. Honoring time is not about adornment, but about simplicity. True elegance begins when you no longer rush, because you know attracting attention is easy, but being noticed requires patience. A mature woman is quiet but compelling. She does not speak, but her presence resonates. No one can direct her because she is now centered within herself. And there is such energy in this center that no youth can imitate it. And now I will ask something of you. Write just one word below. I am here. Because when you write this, you will actually be embracing your spirit, not your age. Writing that word means, I am still here. My light has not gone out. This sentence is not just a comment, it will be a promise you make to yourself. If you write this, you will remember that you belong to today, not the past. If you are ready, let's begin. 1. Living at peace with solitude, in harmony with silence. A woman's true charm is measured not in crowds, but in her silence. When you are young, you always try to keep up with others. You want to be liked, loved, seen. But as you get older, you realize what makes you grow the most are those quiet days when no one calls you. In that silence, you begin to hear your own voice. Loneliness is no longer a deficiency, but becomes a mirror, the most honest space that shows you to yourself. And when a woman faces this mirror, she begins to acquire the indescribable charm of maturity. Being at peace with loneliness does not mean I don't need anyone. It means I am no longer dependent on anyone. Because true womanhood is shaped not in a man's arms, but in the weight of one's own being. When you see people's silence as peace rather than a threat, those around you notice it. That inner balance reflects in your face, your walk, even the depth of your gaze. When you enter a room, people can't explain it, but they feel it. This woman is at peace with herself. Living in harmony with silence is not about suppressing your emotions, but about directing them. You want to cry, but you don't, because you know that some tears flow from within. Instead of waiting for someone to understand you, you choose to understand yourself. At that point, even hurt looks elegant, because you are no longer afraid of being hurt. This awareness beautifies you, not cream, makeup, or clothes, but serenity beautifies you. Many women cling to the wrong people because they are afraid of being alone. But in the age of wisdom, it is the woman who does not cling who is attractive, because she now knows being alone is not a punishment, it is a choice. And this choice is the most mature gift a person can give themselves. A woman who remains elegant and radiant even when alone is an image men can never forget, because that woman leans not on someone else's energy, but on her own light. True attractiveness is not about drawing attention, but about radiating peace. When a woman makes peace with her solitude, her energy changes. Her speech softens, but her words become powerful. Her smile is quiet, but it stays in people's minds, because that woman is now complete without needing anyone else. And everything that is complete, whether it be a person or the universe, creates its own gravitational pull. By the way, if you like the video and subscribe to our channel, you will be supporting me in the most effective way. 2. Carrying calm power in your eyes. A woman's charm lies not in the words she speaks, but in the moments she looks. When young, the eyes reveal much but are too hasty. They are full of enthusiasm but directionless. As one ages, a weight, a sense of having seen it all, emerges in that gaze. You no longer have to prove anything to anyone, you just look. And that look creates an impact that words cannot. Because the gaze of a mature woman says, "I can figure you out," but it also says, "I no longer have to." This calm strength comes not from fighting a battle, but from learning not to fight. Whereas before you would react immediately when someone hurt you, now you just smile. Because you know that the greatest revenge is silence, and the greatest reaction is calmness. Men are fascinated by women like this because there is a mystery in that energy. Those eyes convey the message, "I have my own world, and you cannot change it." This is the most effective weapon for women of all ages, the calm power that replaces uncontrolled emotion. Calm women carry the pain of the past, not on their faces, but in their depths. Those depths frighten people, but they also draw them in, because there are no scars on her face, but there is a story in her soul. A man is curious about this story. He wants to understand the experiences behind that gaze, but here lies the secret of her charm. She does not tell her story, because she knows that everything hidden becomes a little more enchanting. Such women do not shout, compete, or explain. They simply exist. And this state of being is noticeable even in a crowded room, because in those eyes there is no resentment, no haste, only knowing. That peaceful state of knowing makes women of any age attractive. It's as if she's saying, "My energy is enough for you." And men never forget that energy, because that gaze is like a refuge, safe, but also dangerous. Women who carry quiet power in their gaze no longer look to be admired, but to understand. They know that true attractiveness lies not in drawing attention, but in touching the heart. When a man is caught by such a gaze, he begins to respect her without even realizing it, because in those eyes there is both femininity and wisdom, and when these two powers combine, no beauty can compete with it. 3. Creating your own signature perfume. A woman's scent is remembered even before her voice. Years pass, faces change, hair turns grey, but that scent remains the same in the mind. Scent is a memory. It is the silent signature of a woman's soul. When you are young, you choose perfume simply to be liked, but as you age, you want to be remembered. That is why a mature woman no longer wears a random scent, but a perfume that expresses herself. Because she knows a scent is the invisible line of a woman's story. Creating your own signature perfume is not just an aesthetic choice, it is a statement of identity. Every woman has a different harmony in her skin, her pulse, her soul. That is why a scent that suits someone else may seem ordinary to you. True charm lies in a scent that blends with your own naturalness. That scent does not overwhelm you, it speaks to you. When you pass by with a light breeze, this is what makes people say, "Who was that?" leaving an impact without being seen. This is the art of womanhood that comes with age. Over time, a woman learns what is too much and what is too little. The same goes for perfume. You no longer choose the bottle, you choose the feeling. Even in the daily hustle and bustle, those notes you apply to your wrist bring you back to your center. That moment is actually the scent of the me feeling you experience when you look in the mirror. That's why some women act as if they are praying when they apply their morning perfume, because that scent is not just for going out, it is for returning to yourself. Creating this signature is investing in your inner world, not the outside world. Any scent chosen without knowing your body, your emotions, your past, remains incomplete. But when you know yourself, that perfume becomes one with you. You are recognized in any room you enter, you stand out in any crowd. Because that scent is the echo of your energy. A woman who recognizes this carries not external beauty, but spiritual grace. A woman's scent reveals not her age, but the age of her soul. If that scent carries tranquility, depth, and a hint of mystery, then that woman is attractive, regardless of her age. Because scent is not merely an aesthetic, but a declaration of existence. I am here, but you cannot fully understand me. That is when a woman attracts attention even without being seen, because she now carries her own signature, not someone else's. 4. Dress to be noticed, not to attract attention. Some women wear clothes, others wear their posture. Over time, you realize there is a world of difference between attracting attention and being noticed. Attracting attention is fleeting. It shouts, it rushes, it tires. But being noticed, it is quiet, it is calm, but it is never forgotten. As a woman ages, she discerns the essence behind colors and fabrics. She no longer seeks fashion, but elegance. Because elegance is the only thing that never goes out of style. Dressing is not just about covering the body. It is about choosing the tone of the soul. When you are young, you choose bright colors, high heels, and plunging necklines to attract attention. But one day, the woman inside you wants to be understood rather than seen. That day, your wardrobe changes. You understand the nobility of black, the serenity of beige, the elegance of white. Because now you know, even the most stylish outfit looks ordinary if worn with the wrong energy. But a simple dress worn with the right posture captivates at a glance. A woman's style is her silent language. The cut of her clothes, the rhythm of her walk, even the scarcity of her accessories reveal her character. True attractiveness lies in not looking like everyone else. Now you no longer ask yourself in the mirror, does this suit me? But does this reflect me? Because being noticed is the result of respecting yourself, not others. And that respect makes you both feminine and wise. With age, a woman pursues substance, not show. She no longer seeks attention because she knows that attention lives on the surface. Being noticed takes root in depth. Even a man senses this. He can't understand why, but he is drawn to her energy. Because that woman has learned to carry herself, not just to dress. Her presence attracts attention, even without adornment. Because the simple power of her soul is more lasting than makeup. Some women become invisible despite spending hours getting ready, while others change the energy of the entire room with a simple shirt. Because it's not about the clothes, it's about the frequency. That frequency is found only in women who love themselves, who are unhurried, and who do not need the approval of others. Those who sense this difference often cannot quite put their finger on what it is, but they cannot take their eyes off that woman. That is the magic of being noticed. And remember, behind this style, this elegant awareness, lie much deeper habits. What truly makes a woman stand out is not just her clothes, it's how she carries her spirit. If you want to fully integrate this energy into your life, be sure to listen to the rest of the video, because there we'll unravel that invisible force of attraction that goes beyond appearance. 5. Forgiving the past and living lightly in your heart. Some women are beautiful in their youth, others when they forgive. Because forgiving rejuvenates far more than applying cream to your face. Resentment ages a person, not on their face, but in their gaze. It's not your age, but the weight of the anger you carry that weighs you down. Forgiving doesn't mean they were right. It means I'm not carrying it anymore. And the woman who realizes this suddenly becomes both more beautiful and lighter, because the past is no longer on her face, but behind her. As a woman ages, she begins not to erase the traces of the past, but to make peace with them. Those memories are no longer a wound, but a scar. And some scars add depth to a woman, because every pain leaves a layer. Those layers no longer wear you down, they mature you, they give you a sense of balance. Forgiveness is setting yourself free, untying your chains and continuing on your way. A woman who can do this changes her energy. Her speech becomes softer, her presence more peaceful. People don't know why they are drawn to her, but they know they feel comfortable around her. Forgiving the past is not a gift to someone else. It is the most noble kindness you can do for yourself. Because everything a woman does not forgive in her heart becomes a stone on her face. And when you let go of those stones one by one, your face shines again. In the mirror, you no longer see regret, but maturity. At that moment, you realize age has not made you ugly. It has only revealed the excess baggage. The moment you forgive, that baggage falls away, leaving behind pure elegance. Forgiveness sometimes comes like a prayer, sometimes like a silent farewell. But whatever form it takes, it renews your soul. Because no beauty is lasting without inner peace. When a woman forgives the past, she returns to herself. And in that return there is no more adornment, no more mask, only a true being. Her eyes see more clearly, her voice comes from deeper within. Because that woman no longer has to prove anything to anyone. One day you will realize the past does not define you, it only educates you. And when you forgive, you remove it from the rocky path within you. The path flattens, your walk becomes lighter. At that moment, it is not age but spirit that shines. And that glow cannot be imitated by any cream, any words. It is found only in forgiving hearts. 6. Evoking warmth and curiosity through eye contact. A woman's eyes deepen with age. When young, you look but do not see, you see but do not understand. As the years pass, your gaze changes. You no longer look with just your eyes, but with your soul. Eye contact is the body's quietest yet most powerful language. It is a way of saying, without uttering a word, I am aware, but I am in no hurry. This gaze enchants men, but it also affects women, because in those eyes one senses confidence, warmth, and experience. Evoking warmth and curiosity is not about flirting, but about being present. When a woman uses her gaze consciously, words become unnecessary. What you wear, what you say, loses its importance. Only how you look remains. There is no harshness in those eyes, only a gentle determination. Because a mature woman no longer plays games, she just looks, assesses, and if necessary, quietly walks away. The effect of this gaze does not draw attention, it leaves a deep impression. What makes eye contact warm is the clarity of the intention behind it. If you can look at someone without judging them, without rushing, just being there, the person opposite you immediately senses that energy. That's why some women command respect without even speaking. There is not an invitation in those eyes, but a peace. And that peace draws people to her. Because a woman's eyes no longer demand attention, they radiate balance. Arousing curiosity is about knowing how to conceal. You don't reveal everything, but what you don't reveal makes people curious. There is a story behind your eyes. It's not how much you share that matters, but how much you keep hidden. Because a woman who reveals everything is understood, but a woman who keeps her mystery is felt. You understand this difference with age. You no longer want someone to figure you out. You want them to feel you. Because a woman who is felt is unforgettable. A woman's eyes say more than words ever could. To look at them well, to carry them softly but powerfully, is to polish the mirror of your soul. Your eyes tell your story, not your age. And if a woman carries both warmth and depth in her gaze, no one can forget her. Because in those eyes there is not only beauty, but the essence of life. 7. Using intelligence and humor in a subtle way. Beauty attracts attention, but intelligence connects. As a woman ages, she realizes that it is no longer her face that draws people to her, but her way of thinking. Women who show their intelligence not by shouting, but by whispering, become unforgettable. Because their humor does not attack, it touches. It does not mock, it makes you think. That subtlety creates an energy more attractive than facial features. And men fear but are also fascinated by such women, because it takes courage to enter that woman's world. Subtle humor is the quiet reflection of a woman's self-confidence. You no longer speak to impress anyone, but to understand. You respond to someone's sentence with a smile, but there is a deeper meaning in that smile. At that moment, they realize, this woman is not ordinary, because maturity is the intelligence of your posture, not your words. While showing humor is a game in youth, with age it becomes a power, a soft but sharp power. A woman who balances her intelligence and humor makes people feel comfortable around her, but at the same time, she remains enigmatic. Her words are sweet but profound. Her smile is sincere but meaningful. This duality makes her attractive, because intelligence creates both distance and curiosity. The person opposite her wants to approach her, but remains cautious. This is a woman's most elegant playground, being able to set boundaries without building walls with words. A woman's charm peaks when she uses her humor not as a defense, but as a form of expression. You are no longer mocking, just aware. And a woman who is aware inspires trust in others, because she laughs at herself and makes others laugh gracefully. This is a sign of having made peace with pain, of having settled accounts with the past. True womanhood begins here, in being strong with delicacy, without breaking. A woman's intelligence either builds cold walls or radiates a warm light. Age determines which she chooses. Mature women choose light, because they know that being clear is more important than being sharp. Intelligence is not for defeating someone, but for adding depth to life. And understanding this difference adds wisdom to your face. You are no longer just smart, you are compelling, because you speak with your intuition, not your intellect. And remember, it's not just about intelligence, it's about knowing how to manage energy. We'll discuss this in depth later in the video, because some women appear intelligent not just by speaking, but by making others feel it. When you learn that balance, people won't just listen to you, they'll start to wonder about you. 8. Being able to say, "I'm still here," by looking at yourself. One morning, you look in the mirror and realize years have passed. Lines around your eyes, a few grey hairs, perhaps skin that's not as firm as it once was. But then you take a deep breath and quietly say, "I'm still here." At that moment, your beauty transcends to another dimension, because now it's not about your outward appearance, but the grace of survival. The years haven't worn you down, they've taught you, and the woman you see in the mirror is no longer just a face, but a story. Time does not diminish you, it only takes away the excess. You no longer care about the things you sought approval for in your youth, because you now know what it means to exist. Those wrinkles are traces of days lived. Each one is a trace of pain, of patience, of laughter. You do not try to erase them, because you know, if you erase them, you erase yourself. Your beauty matures with those marks. You are no longer a woman who resists time, but one who walks in harmony with it. Looking at yourself is not just seeing your face, it is recognizing the woman inside. It is noticing that woman who has loved others over the years, cried for others, sometimes been forgotten, sometimes shone. And it is about thanking that woman, because that woman did not give up. She was broken in the middle of life, but did not fall apart. she stood tall through it all. Being able to say, "I am still here," when you look in the mirror, is a declaration of victory. A silent but powerful victory. Many women think they become invisible as they age, but the opposite is true. Women do not become invisible as they age. They simply become invisible to the wrong eyes. Real eyes see them more clearly. Because maturity simplifies a person, and simplicity does not attract attention, but it creates attraction. So those lines you see in the mirror are not an ending, they are a second birth. Because you no longer have to be like anyone else. You have learned to remain yourself. So one day, when you look in the mirror, do not criticize the past or blame the present. Just look at yourself and quietly say, "Yes, I am still here." This sentence is a woman's rebirth, because with those words, she begins to see not through the eyes of others, but through her own heart. And from that moment on, even as the years pass, the woman inside her remains forever young. 9. Bringing peaceful energy into a room. Some women enter a room and even the silence changes. They don't shout or draw attention to themselves, but the atmosphere instantly softens, because their energy brings peace. This is not something innate, it is an awareness gained over the years. Peace is the wisdom that comes with age. It is the result of knowing whom to speak to, whom to remain silent with, and which battles are worth fighting. This awareness creates serenity on the woman's face, grace in her body, and confidence in her voice. Carrying peace is not being passive. On the contrary, it is the sign of the strongest women who can manage their emotions. Things that used to annoy, hurt, or frighten you no longer have the same effect. Because now you know, not reacting is sometimes even more powerful than revenge. People can breathe around you, because you have begun to carry an energy that forces nothing but balances everything. That is why people feel at ease around some women, yet also feel a deep respect for them. This kind of energy is an invisible grace. A woman's peace is like her perfume, invisible but noticeable. When people meet you, they cannot put their finger on it, but they think to themselves, "There is something about her that makes me feel good." That feeling is an inner calm that comes with years of experience. There is no rush in your speech now, no tension on your face, no harshness in your voice. Because the power is now within you, not outside. That is why peaceful women speak little, but have a great impact. To enter a room with peace is not to have to prove who you are. There is no comparison now, no competition. There is only being, and that being is the most refined state of womanhood. A peaceful woman does not draw attention, but she is noticed even when attention is scattered, because she can maintain her center even in the midst of chaos. That center is built with the maturity that comes with age. That is why it is no coincidence that a woman becomes more beautiful as she ages. That beauty is a radiance that comes with inner balance, and a woman's peace grows not with age, but with wisdom. That is why when she enters a room, even if no one notices, the atmosphere changes. People pause for a moment, breathe, relax, because her energy brings peace. It is an unassuming but powerful force, a presence that resonates in the silence, and that presence is the greatest source of attraction in a truly mature woman. 10. Preserving the aesthetics of smiling at any age. A woman's most precious accessory is her smile. But this is no longer a quick, flashy, or superficial smile like in youth. A mature woman's smile is slow, deep, and tells a story. Because behind that smile lies both pain and strength, as well as acceptance. That is why some smiles reflect serenity rather than beauty. When people see that smile, they say, "This woman has lived." But at the same time, they think, "She still has that spark." That spark is an energy that never fades, no matter the age. As they age, women try to hide the lines on their faces, but they do not realize that those lines are the architects of the smile. Because smiling is not just a movement of the lips, it is the reflection of the soul on the body. If the soul is weary, even the best makeup is not enough. But the face of a woman at peace shines like a painting. There is no artificiality in that smile, only softness. There is no strain, only depth. That is why smiling is not something lost with age, but an art that enhances beauty when done right. A genuine smile is not for approval, but for gratitude to oneself. As someone who knows what they have been through over the years, who they have forgiven, what pains they have endured, you now smile simply at who you are. Because you know that everything changes, but the tone of peace on your face remains. That tone cannot be achieved with makeup. It is the product of inner peace, acceptance, and a sense of quiet wisdom. That is why some women's faces show light, not age. A woman's smile can even change the tension in a room, because that smile is no longer a tool for flirting, but a sign of peace. At that moment, you smile not to attract a man's attention, but to thank your own heart. And this difference is reflected even in your gaze. A warmth appears in your eyes, a softness on your face. People feel at ease when they look at you, because in that smile there is trust, there is grace, there is a message that says, I am at peace with myself. And finally, you realize, smiling has nothing to do with age, but with courage, being able to laugh sincerely without letting life wear you down. That is true elegance, because if a woman can smile despite her pain, she is no longer just beautiful, she is wise. And a wise smile cannot be compared to any youthful sparkle in the world. 11. Keeping a mysterious space for yourself, not sharing everything. One of a woman's biggest mistakes is wanting to reveal everything, her love, her pain, her past, her thoughts. Yet she doesn't realize that what captivates a woman is not her beauty, but her mystery. Over time, you understand, when all of a woman's secrets are revealed, her magic diminishes, because mystery is the silent partner of charm. Not sharing everything is not coldness, it is respect, both for yourself and your relationship. Allow people to understand you, but not to consume you. Being a mysterious woman is not about keeping your distance. It is simply about being aware of your boundaries. You no longer share every feeling, show every pain, or reveal every plan. Because you know that some things are more valuable in silence. Maturity is revealed in the places where you remain silent. That's why strong women speak little, but every sentence they utter resonates. There is meaning in every smile, an answer in every silence, and this silence arouses curiosity in people. When a woman preserves her mystery, she creates a slight distance, but this distance is not cold, it is full of respect. That distance makes her valuable, not unattainable, because she is no longer as open as everyone can see. You share your life, your relationships, your thoughts in moderation. Not to attract people's attention, but to maintain their respect. This difference is the energy of wise women, not young women. Mysterious women exist not to attract attention, but to create attraction. Not revealing everything is also a sign of self-confidence, because you no longer seek approval. When people misunderstand you, you don't explain, you just smile. Because you know that those who truly understand you will listen anyway, and those who don't aren't worth convincing. This stance is the strongest armor a woman gains with maturity. Silence. That silence is both a protection and an invitation. The more people try to figure you out, the more they are drawn to you. Because mystery makes the unseen desirable, and eventually you realize being mysterious is not a strategy, it is a way of being. You no longer chase attention, you attract it. Because people never forget what they are curious about. When a woman can protect her own small, silent world, she carries both her charm and her peace at the same time. That's why not telling everything is not a sign of weakness, but of maturity, and maturity is the silent name of true attractiveness. 12. Possessing a constantly renewing freshness of spirit. Some women age, others mature. The difference lies in the soul's power to renew itself. Spiritual freshness does not fade with time, it withers if neglected. That is why some women's eyes still sparkle, their voices still resonate, because there is still curiosity and excitement within them. Renewal is not about forgetting the past, but about not getting stuck in it. Advancing age does not stop you. What stops you is remaining stuck in the same thoughts. When a woman constantly renews her spirit, she never appears finished. Spiritual freshness begins from within, not without. A new dress, a new face cream, a new hairstyle. These are only superficial. Real change begins with a new thought, a new awareness. It's like being reborn every morning. It's making room for today's light without carrying yesterday's weight. Because when a woman constantly renews herself, even if her face doesn't change, her energy becomes younger. That energy resonates in people's hearts. Renewing yourself is learning to live for yourself, not for others. It's not saying, "I'm past my prime." It is knowing that you can reshape yourself, learn anew at any stage of life, listening to new music, reading a new book, walking in a new city. These may seem small, but they restart the spirit. Because renewal does not require revolution, awareness is enough, and women who carry this awareness remain vibrant at any age. And eventually you realize, as long as your spirit stays fresh, no age will make you look old. Renewal is not a choice, it is a way of life. When a woman learns this, she no longer fears time. Because she does not chase time, she adapts time to her own rhythm. And at that moment, regardless of age, a person simply becomes a woman, a strong, vibrant, and elegant woman. A woman does not lose her beauty as she ages, she simply learns to carry it. She no longer lives to adorn herself, but to exist. Every line tells a story, every silence carries maturity, every glance holds wisdom. Youth is a phase, but charm is a decision. That is why the truly captivating women in this world do not defy time, they dance with it. Because true charm is not in a body, it is hidden in a posture, a glance, a peace. And the woman who possesses that peace no longer strives to be noticed, she simply exists. And that existence alone is enough. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you, and I want you to love yourself too.